Party, which was formed by Ross Perot. Lamb made his announcement before a packed news conference on the University of Denver campus, where he is a professor. Lamb, a lifelong Democrat, claims his campaign will be a wake-up call to the nation.
We need more than a change of presidents. We need a change in our political culture, the whole political culture. That's why I'm here today to announce my candidacy as President of the United States on the Reform Party ticket.
Lamb says he spoke with Ross Perot last night, but the Texas billionaire did not indicate whether he intends to become a candidate himself. One important question is whether Lamb would be eligible for the $32 million in federal funds that Perot is entitled to based on his showing in the 1992 campaign when he did get 19% of the popular vote. Martin?
The murder trial of Mark Hilbin got underway in Orange County today. Prosecutors say the former postal worker murdered his mother and his best friend and wounded 7 others during a 3-day rampage in Orange County in 1993. Ron Olson reports.
The charges against 42-year-old Mark Hilbin include murdering his mother at her home in Corona del Mar and then moving on to the post office in Dana Point, where police say he shot and killed a friend and former co-worker, Thomas Barbagallo. Police say Hilbin then took off, eventually wounding 7 others before his arrest at a local bar. His plea in court, not guilty by reason of insanity. His lawyer says Hilbin had been treated for mental illness before he lost his job at the post office and fixated on a former co-worker there, Kimberly Springer. Hilbin, his lawyer says, believed that he was Adam, that Springer was Eve, and that he needed to kidnap her to save the world from the apocalypse.
He believed that there were going to be major earthquakes, that the world was going to come to an end, and that he and Kim Springer, were Adam and Eve. And they would become one, and they would then be the only 2 people who could then be either survival or have the human race survive through them.
On the other side, the prosecution says Hilbin's actions were premeditated and deliberate, and that he was using mental illness as a cover to take revenge against authority figures.
The evidence will show he's able to think, to premeditate, and deliberate the killing of many people.
In the end, it will be up to a 6-man, 6-woman jury to decide whether Mark Hilbin really had any control over what he was doing, or if, as the defense contends, this is simply a case of a man who was going slowly insane and who eventually snapped. In Orange County, Ron Olson, Channel 5, News at 10.
There was a wild early morning pursuit through the streets of Tampa, Florida, as sheriff's deputies chased 3 armed robbery suspects who were trying to get away in a stolen car. The pursuit came to a dramatic conclusion when the driver began to lose control. The stolen car struck a tree but kept on going. Then seconds later, the driver jumped the curb into a vacant lot with the pursuing officers right on his tail. As he swerved once more, the deputies rammed the car and brought it to a stop. The 3 teenagers inside are now charged with armed robbery, auto theft, and resisting arrest.
Well, it rattled glasses, shook the ground, but authorities say military exercises and earthquakes are not responsible for a mysterious boom that was heard and actually felt in Orange County this afternoon. Regardless, residents say they know they felt and heard a powerful boom, and they felt it rumble through 245. Shoppers and officials describe the odd occurrence.
All the wind chimes here and everything just started shaking, and it was just for a second.
Yeah, it was really quick. The music turned off. It was so quick we didn't even know what it was. It was weird.
Could you see the thing shaking on the shelves?
Oh, yeah. The glass was rattling. It was intense.
All of a sudden we heard a shaking here in the building and felt similar to an earthquake, but also at the same time we thought maybe it was a sonic boom.
Well, this afternoon's boom will have to remain one of Southern California's unsolved mysteries. Let's go to Larry now and take a look at tonight's Consumer Trends Report with some of the movies that are out these days. Maybe some people think it's an alien or extraterrestrial occurrence.
A lot of people apparently experience the same thing at the same time. I didn't feel it. Did you feel anything?
No. But no, I guess it was just restricted to the boundaries of Orange County.
Right? I see. Okay, we'll find out when we do. We'll tell you. Well, it's no secret or mystery that swimming is a favorite sport during the summer months, and Our report tonight features a device called Swim Ear, which is designed to protect your ears while you are swimming. Swim Ears are really earplugs with filters that prevent water and bacterial contaminations from entering your ears. They also protect your ears from a sudden increase in pressure as you dive into the water. However, we're told that Swim Ears will not affect your hearing.
Swim Ears is derived from our premier product, which is called earplanes. Earplanes, of course, are used in an airplane, and they protect your ears from the sudden changes in cabin pressure. Our research has shown that the same effects occur when you dive into the water. There's a sudden increase in air pressure. And as I said, Swim Ears are derived from earplanes. They're very similar.
Swim Ears come in child and adult sizes, and they're reusable, too. They're available through travel catalogs. The cost is about $5 a pair. And since they are reusable, a couple of pairs should probably last you all summer long. Swim Ears. And that is tonight's Consumer Trends Report. No?
Well, Larry, now just ahead tonight here on News at 10, memorabilia from the royal divorce goes on sale. British police have arrested a suspect in a bloody machete attack at a preschool. Rioters burned cars and shut down all roads to an international airport. And the First Lady tries to keep in step with the changes in Eastern Europe. Do stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
If you could buy the best-selling small car in America for the last 10 years, you'd buy it. That's what the Ford dealers did. Now they have too many 96 Escorts, and they need to sell them all. And that means up to $1,500 cash back, or as low as 3.9 APR for 4 years. Are they making a mistake? Sure. But what do you care? You're getting a new 96 Escort with up to $1,500 cash back or 3.9. Too many Escorts. Too little time. Too little.
Houston, how many miles are we flying?
900,000. Copy?
Roger that. Can we credit that toward our frequent flyer program?
Stand by, Red Hawk. We'll get back to you.
With Southwest Airlines frequent flyer program Rapid Rewards, you don't have to fly to the moon and back to earn a free ticket. Just 8 quick round trips and your next one's free.
A couple more of these flights and I can go someplace really cool.
Rapid Rewards from Southwest, the fastest way to fly free.
Every 2 minutes, somebody gets a home loan from Countrywide. Well, that's nearly 800 loans just today. $23,000 a month, nearly $280,000 in a year. But you only need one. That's easy, really. Countrywide Home Loans.
I think you know why I'm here, Ed.
Oh, look, Jack, I'm retired. No more burger works for me.
Ed, I need you to help make Jumbo Jacks.
You mean?
Yeah, at 99 cents. They're so popular, I'm having trouble keeping up with demand.
Let's do it.
I love the smell of mayo in the morning.
They said it was a gamble. They said it wouldn't last. They said...
It's been 5 years?
The KTLA Morning News 5-year anniversary show.
You could poke your eye out.
A spectacular show packed with prizes, live performance, surprise guest stars, and for the first time ever, broadcasting in front of a live studio audience. Lord help us.
It was a weird morning.
The KTLA Morning News 5-year anniversary show. All morning long, Thursday on the KTLA Morning News.
In Britain tonight, police say they have arrested the man responsible for a machete attack at a preschool picnic in the city of Wolverhampton. Investigators say 32-year-old Harth Campbell is the assailant who slashed 3 children and 4 adults at the St. Luke's preschool. Campbell was found hiding in a closet in a 10-story apartment building late today. Police say they still have no motive for the attack. The 3 children remain hospitalized with deep cuts. Protestant marchers burned cars, blocked roads, and briefly closed access to Northern Ireland's international airport today in the worst violence since the ceasefires of 1994. Police stopped Protestant demonstrators from marching through a Catholic neighborhood in the town of Portadown for the 3rd straight day, and the marchers responded with rocks and firebombs. The Protestants are threatening to call in reinforcements to overwhelm police tonight, and many Catholics have begun evacuating their homes. The Protestants are marching to commemorate their 17th century victory over Catholics in that area. Marta?
Well, South African President Nelson Mandela met with Queen Elizabeth today, marking the first state visit to Britain by a South African president. Mr. Mandela received a hero's welcome as he began his 4-day tour of the country. A crowd of 6,000 cheered the South African leader as he met the Queen and her top advisors. President Mandela plans to meet with Prime Minister John Major and other political and business leaders later this week to discuss foreign trade. It's been said one man's misfortune can be another man's fortune. That appears to be the case in Great Britain, where a company is cashing in on the royal divorce. A china maker in Cornwall is producing royal divorce mugs, marking the end of the troubled marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Demand for the mugs has been overwhelming, prompting the company to consider making a similar mug for Prince Andrew and his wife, Sarah Ferguson. First Lady Hillary Clinton ended her 2-day tour of Estonia today by taking in a number of cultural events. Mrs. Clinton, a strong supporter of feminist issues, was given a tour of an all-female art cooperative. She then took part in a festival celebrating the music of Estonia. The First Lady joined a group of Estonian folk dancers, much to the delight of her hosts. Conscious of the country's proud musical heritage, Mrs. Clinton did her best to impress her new friends.
A major American automaker has issued a new recall order. That story's coming up next. Plus, a young father has been arrested while rushing his sick child to the hospital. We'll tell you why. And the CIA is forced to make a very embarrassing disclosure. We'll have the details when we come right back.
Polar bear plunge. New. The San Diego Zoo.
Sorry, the Klondikes are not home right now. We've gone to Arctic nights at the San Diego Zoo.
This year, nighttime zoo is cooler than ever.
Bacteria that cause infection can live almost anywhere. Ow! That's why every cut needs Neosporin. At the microscopic level, Neosporin kills a broad spectrum of hundreds of bacterial strains, more than many other topical antibiotics. Also, adding Neosporin to a bandage helps cuts heal 4 days faster than a bandage alone. Help end the threat of infection. Heal cuts faster with Neosporin. And for painful cuts, try Maximum Strength Neosporin Plus.
It was a very grim story for us. Our plant was closing. Going to lose 88 jobs. The local manager of the Walmart store gave me an appointment.
He says, those Walmart commercials, is that for real? The Made in USA program gets a commitment, and I did everything I could to make it happen. Jim called me up. He says, I got a truck rolling in my back door. We got orders going out.
Well, I'm glad we helped them out. Thanks to Walmart, we've saved 88 American jobs.
Rolling with a Ram Tough Magnum motor, get a new Dodge Ram or a new Dakota. A new Dodge. You can out-drive, out-hustle, out-tough, out-muscle, out-tow, out-run, out-work, and out-fun. Show them what you got.
Across California, Dodge pickups are #1 in sales growth. They have great resale value, too. Add air to Dodge Ram at no extra charge, and it's no wonder Ram is chilling the competition.
The new Dodge.
On Sister, the twins discover Ray's darkest secret.
What'd you do, man?
Wednesday at 8:30 on the WB, Channel 5.
An embarrassing disclosure for the CIA. 3 employees stole at least 100 credit cards and other items intended as covered documents for American spies. Now, you'll recall at the movies, Tom Cruise required disguises and a host of high-tech gadgets to steal a secret list from CIA headquarters. But it was no mission impossible for 3 clerks in the agency's mailroom. They lifted credit cards and false identification documents from diplomatic pouches, and they ran up at least $190,000 in charges. They were caught after an internal audit. 2 have pleaded guilty, a third is awaiting trial.
General Motors is recalling 293,000 of its automobiles. Officials say an engine defect may cause the cars to backfire and in some cases lead to engine fires. The vehicles included in the recall are 1997 Buick Park Avenue, LeSabre, Riviera, and Regal models, as well as Pontiac Bonneville sedans and Oldsmobile 98 and 88 luxury cars. Also being recalled, 1997 Buick LeSabres with 3.8-liter engines. No injuries have been reported, however. The auto manufacturer is cautioning owners to avoid starting the cars with the hoods open. Consumers with defective cars will be notified by mail and instructed to go to their dealer for free repairs.
In Maryland, a father who was rushing a sick baby to the hospital has been arrested because he refused to stop for the police. David Lemon, a 40-year-old firefighter, was clocked driving 50 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. Lemon ran a stop sign and then refused to pull over when officers flashed their lights. Lemon said his daughter was vomiting and choking. Lemon was arrested at the hospital for speeding and eluding police. Let's go to Larry now. Take a look at tonight's health and fitness news. Larry?
Some new developments out of that AIDS conference in Vancouver, Hal, topping our health and fitness report tonight. A new AIDS test that could revolutionize the way people infected with HIV are monitored and treated. The new test measures AIDS virus levels in a patient's blood, and by knowing the amount of virus present, physicians can tell how quickly the disease will progress. Other AIDS tests before this could only reveal whether a person was infected, but not how much virus was present in the person's blood system or present in the person's body.
We found that people with very high levels developed AIDS quickly. At 10 years, 72% of them had developed AIDS. When we looked at the people with low or very low levels, none of them had developed AIDS after 10 years. And people who had intermediate levels of the virus developed AIDS at an intermediate rate.
Researchers say knowing the amount of virus in an AIDS patient could also help doctors tailor treatment to a particular patient and also to assess the effectiveness of new drugs and other therapies. And also on the subject of AIDS, the federal government has pledged $100 million to help develop creams that would kill HIV during intercourse to be used by women. The creams are designed especially for women as an alternative to condoms. Secretary of Health and Human Services Donna Shalala made that announcement today at the International Conference on AIDS taking place this week in Vancouver, British Columbia. Health officials at the gathering say women, especially women in Asia, need the products to protect themselves because they don't have the consent of their sexual partners to use a contraceptive. Of the 21 million people infected with HIV throughout the world, 40% are women, and most of them caught the virus through heterosexual intercourse. Finally, according to a recent national poll, Los Angeles residents have the highest incidence of heartburn during exercise. Researchers say certain activities may contribute to food and beverage-induced heartburn, and they say the study could help heartburn sufferers change their eating habits and prevent the symptoms. Los Angeles was among 10 big cities in that poll, and according to that survey, 16% of these sufferers here say they got heartburn